Welcome to our show. Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
So my name is Alex Pelaez, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of 5-Element Analytics.
Welcome, Alex. Please tell us about your company.
So 5-Element Analytics is a multi-domain analytics firm. We focus on providing data science techniques, solutions to various companies using machine learning, artificial intelligence, and other statistical methods.
Can you please tell us what is data science and how is it used?
Sure. So data science is basically a discipline, a mathematical and computer science discipline that allows us, or an analytics firm or companies, to utilize their data in a way to find opportunities or efficiencies in their organization. So what we do is we will actually take large amounts of data in terms of terabytes and sometimes close to a petabyte of data to actually generate opportunities for companies.
What are some common misconceptions about data science?
I would say the biggest misconception is that you need to have a Ph.D. degree to be a data scientist.
That's how I feel. But
you don't need a Ph.D. degree, but you do have to have some background in mathematics, computer science, and or statistics. And what we do find is people who come from various backgrounds like physics or even psychology will have a great understanding of how to apply these things to business.
I think it would be helpful if you give us some practical applications. What would be some examples how we can use data science?
Sure. So one example would be if a retail company was looking to develop a lifetime value of a customer calculation. Using the data that they have, they want to figure out which customer can be classified as a high value or a low value type of customer so that they can identify cross-sell opportunities, upsell opportunities, or learn longer-term sales opportunities. It also helps them develop better marketing campaigns and target better, using their marketing dollars better. Another example would be, say, in healthcare, trying to identify fraudulent claims or the best method for claims, optimizing billing for various claims. So doctors and providers and healthcare companies can utilize it to figure out the opportunities they get just from using claims data, as well as to get better outcomes and prevent readmissions to, say, hospitals.
I see. And if I wanted to use, your services, what would be the first steps for me to start the process?
Sure. So the first step for any company is to identify, what they're looking to understand about their data. Many companies will come to us and say, we have all this data, but we don't know really what to do with it. So they'll say, we'd like to understand who our most valuable customer is, or we'd like to identify which customers should we target first. Or in some cases, they may even say, we want to develop a better forecasting model. We'd like to do a 12-month forecast or an 18-month forecast. They would basically come to us. We would talk to them. We would look at their data, collect their data, and then work with them using the intuition that they have and the mathematical skills that we bring to the table and bring them together to develop solutions.
I see. If I'm a business owner and I'm thinking about using data science, what I should be on lookout for preparing for the use of data science? Is there a certain way I should be treating my data, collecting it before I come to you?
Well, there's nothing necessarily that they have to do before they come to us, but what they do need to understand is they need to collect data. And one of the things that we advise all companies is collect as much data as you can, then you'll figure out how to use it later. But what's really important is being able to clearly identify what questions you'd like to have answered so that you can generate efficiencies or opportunities in your business. If you have those two pieces where I'm collecting a lot of data and I'm asking the right questions, all the pieces in the middle are just steps along the path to finding that information and those answers.
So for example, if I don't feel I'm yet ready to use data science, can I come to you and for advice on how to prepare myself for the use of data science?
Absolutely, because what we would do is we would tell companies, let's take your social media data. We'll start collecting that data. Let's take your...
Yeah, that's very hot right now. That's extremely important.
Google Analytics, Facebook Insights, pulling that data, Twitter data, then tying it to, say, your email campaigns, tying it to your retail point of sale system campaigns, and then even potentially tying it to customer lists that you'll buy outside. So most companies are collecting data because they have systems already in place. So it's really just accessing that data and putting it in a format that can be ready for analytics.
What I find is that many companies use I mean, I would say probably not invest, but waste money on marketing, but they have no idea. As they say, if I knew which half of my money is being wasted, I would stop doing that. But you don't. So that's. I would come to you to help me to figure out where my money goes, basically.
Sure, we might figure out if you have, let's say, I've done 4 marketing campaigns and you kind of have an idea of which ones are successful, which ones aren't. We could actually use your data to baseline what should be a good campaign and figure out which ones were actually better than the other using statistics and say, if you had done this, this would have been your output. So we can do predictive and prescriptive analytics at the same time.
That's actually very interesting. I know for some of my more tech-savvy viewers, I have to ask some technical questions. So, what are the, you have to use some technical lingo. What are some technologies you use so they know?
So I would say this, there's a range of things that data scientists, even at an entry level to the advanced level, they would need to know. The most base level thing that you can do for even a simple data science is you've got to master Excel. And then from there, you have to then really understand SQL or database languages, if you will. Sometimes they will use non-relational databases. So it's really important to be able to pull the data out of databases, put the data in and structure it in a way ready to do some heavy end slicing and dicing. But from the more advanced levels higher up of data science, you need to have 2 basic things. You'll need to have a statistical application. What we do is we generally use R and SAS in our environment, but there are others out there like RapidMiner and SPSS, which are also fine. And then we'd also recommend, if they're going to do some high-end machine learning and AI, that they begin to learn a programming language like Python or Java, because they'll take advantage of the computing power and they'll be able to do things in parallel and run things much faster.
I see. And what are the data types you deal, like what do you work with? What data types?
So we work with both structured and unstructured data. Structured data would be things that you might find in Excel. They're tabular formats, they're numbers, some text values. Unstructured format would be things like text that you would get in a news article, blog articles, Facebook posts. What we can do is we can take that and we can do some natural language processing to do sentiment analysis and figure out, hey, this text or this post that someone made, actually they're talking about your product in a positive way. See how many of those do we get and then compare it to actual sales.
Can that be tied somehow to social marketing, the analysis of the campaigns?
Absolutely, because then what would happen is if you generally find people are giving you more positive sentiments from their posts, as well as looking at the structured data of engagements like likes, shares, and comments, what you can then do is tie it to the various campaigns to see which ones are hitting your type of highly classified customers better. I
see. And well, is there anything else? I mean, I know it's not something we can probably touch on every topic in the short video, but is there something else you want to tell us? Something you want to, any trade secrets?
So actually, the biggest thing I could tell your viewers is a lot of companies they're dipping their toe into data science. They're not really sure about it. But what I would say is that they should start moving almost all in, because companies that will use their data effectively will get a competitive advantage in the marketplace. They can accelerate their own growth and they can minimize any losses that they have in case they exist by using their data effectively. Who do I target? Where should I target them? When should I target them? What do they want to hear? One of the things that's occurring in the video industry, if you will, is the customers are determining what they want to see, when they want to see it, on the device that they want, and at the time of their choosing. And what happens is that you're going to be collecting a lot of data for the media industry. You want to be able to target those things effectively. In every industry, whether it's retail, healthcare, banking, finance, logistics, you really need those competitive advantages against your competitors and against new entrants. And so it's really, really critical to use data and data science to help get to those points.
Well, Alex, if possible, I would like to have a couple of case studies. Mm-hmm. And any additional information, we're going to post links with the video. And thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for your time. It's actually, I feel like I learned something. And I'll probably have more questions for you later.
That would be perfectly fine.
Some of my clients. And thank you very much. And I hope, if possible, we'll invite you again and we'll ask you more questions.
That would be great. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to your listeners.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.